Hi everyone, Liz here. Welcome back to my garden. As the season is changing, so is my garden. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you around, show you what's through and what's new. And I'm also going to show you what I believe is a butterfly egg. I would love to know what you think. One of the first things you'll notice in my garden is I did remove my nasturtium. It was definitely sad to see it go. I will admit that. However, I was able to harvest a ton of seeds, so I'll be able to grow nasturtium in the fall or next year. And another change over here, in case you didn't notice it, I did prune back my larkspur. And I also harvested seeds from this plant. But in doing so, I noticed that not only did this area get cleaned up a bit, but it looks like I have more larkspur growing. So I think by pruning it back, I actually stimulated new growth and it's looking beautiful again. You know, all I can say is God is so amazing, because when one flower is closing, well, another one is opening up. And if you'll notice, my beautiful lantana is starting to bloom. It always blooms in the summertime. So as we approach summer, it's gonna start to shine and make all of its glory. This is definitely a butterfly magnet. I always see butterflies on my lantana. And speaking of butterflies, while I was pruning my larkspur and nasturtium, let me show you something so exciting. I found a butterfly egg. Can you believe that? And I think it belongs to a swallowtail, because I did recently see a swallowtail butterfly fluttering around my garden on Mother's Day. And I could be mistaken, but I'm almost 100% sure that is a butterfly egg. First time I've ever seen one in my garden. I'm super excited, and I'm gonna baby this and pamper it and watch it like it's my own child. And if you notice in the center of it, there's like a little brown speck. To me, that looks like that's the beginning stages of the larva developing. But please, if any of you know what this is, please tell me. I would love to know. You guys always teach me so much when you leave me comments. If I find out this is not a butterfly egg, oh my goodness, I'm going to be so embarrassed. So please, I would appreciate your comments below and educate me on this. And as summer approaches, so do the sunflowers. Look at all my volunteer sunflowers. I didn't plant any of these. These just grew from either bird seed or the sunflowers last year. And these also bring in a lot of the yellow finches and house sparrows. I find it so amazing that as the season changes, so do the birds. Birds that I saw in spring start to migrate somewhere else or disappear, and then new birds start arriving. My Elizabeth bougainvillea definitely made its debut. What's going to happen is all the bracts are going to start to kind of fade and die away, and then new growth will start growing, and this will flower several times in the season. But look at my dahlia. It's starting to bud out. It definitely likes this warmer weather. And with the warmer weather come zinnias. I started to grow some zinnia seeds in little pots. I've been struggling with zinnia this year, I admit. I think maybe I started them too early because I was impatient. But now that the weather is warming up, I think I might have better luck. A little geranium and more nasturtium, although the weather's warming up, so I'm not sure how long that's gonna last, but we will see. You know, even though I did prune back the larkspur, I will say it left a lot more room for the viburnum, if that's how you pronounce it, viburnum. Let me show you a backside angle. See all the viburnum? The pollinators just love it. This is pineapple sage. It's not blooming just yet, But look at how tall that viburnum got. It's almost reaching the sunflowers. And more larkspur over here in between the Shasta daisies. I just love the way the larkspur is kind of poking through the Shasta daisies. And the pineapple sage is definitely helping to hold it up. I just love how everything's just kind of intertwined and overlapping. There's even a volunteer sunflower. I think my stalk is on its way out. That's definitely going to seed, but I will be planting zinnias behind it. Actually, I already did plant seeds. I'm just waiting for those to come up. However, look at my bells of Ireland. Aren't they just beautiful? Just in the last couple weeks, I should say in the last couple days, these things have gotten so big. I just love them. They started out as teeny tiny little plugs, about 1 inch tall. My girlfriend gave them to me. And if you notice, inside is a little flower. Very intricate. They do look like little bells. Bells of Ireland. They definitely are loving this transition into summer. They definitely love the warmer days, so I couldn't be more pleased. So a lot of times when it's sad to see our spring flowers fade and go, there's always something new just right around the corner, waiting for summer. Can you believe it? But my chrysanthemum is blooming. I always thought chrysanthemums were a fall flower, but obviously I was wrong. And with summer comes vinca. Did you see the vinca in my pot? That's new. And this bee balm. When this first started coming up, I said, that's an interesting looking weed. Let's leave it alone and see what it does. Then I recently discovered that's not a weed at all. That's the bee balm that's coming up from last year. I just never took the roots out of the pot, and I couldn't be more pleased. Now, in my last video, I asked for advice. I was thinking about moving this veggie box out into the front of my house, and I got a lot of mixed reviews and opinions and votes, and a lot of you said I should leave it here. Well, I have decided to leave it here. And what I have growing in here now is garlic on both sides, a zucchini, and all these little spinach plants. And the thing about these spinach plants, they do look small, but every other day or so I come out and harvest the spinach and they grow back more leaves. So I just harvested this 2 days ago, and look, it's already producing new leaves for me. And I have some zinnias as well. So this veggie box is staying. But let me take you over here to my narrow space vegetable garden as we pass the snapdragons and the pestamon. Isn't it just so beautiful? Look at that. It's just so beautiful and airy. Kind of reminds me of the larkspur and the gara. Okay, here is my narrow space vegetable garden. 3 feet 4 inches wide. Can you believe that? But look at all the vegetables I can grow. These peas are on their way out. They don't like the warmer weather. They're a cool season. But look at all those nice pods. I'm letting this go to seed so I can save seeds for next year. Tomatoes. More peas. Look at how tall that grew. This was a really good year for peas. And I also grew a tomatillo. I grew one last year and it made a ton of fruit, but I didn't know what to do with them. So this year I said I'm going to definitely harvest them. Look at my little tomatillos. I think the tomatillo tomato is probably one of the prettiest tomatoes to grow. It makes these cute little lanterns first and then the flowers. I think it's just such an interesting looking tomato. And my sun gold tomato is my absolute favorite, and it already has fruit on it. And I'm even growing okra. And even my lunchbox orange pepper has a pepper on it. So you see, this just goes to show that even if you have a very small or narrow or limited space, you can still grow things. You just have to grow upward instead of out. Grow vertical. And I also changed up my center iron plant stand with some sun-loving and heat-tolerant marigolds. And for those of you who are wondering how I made these arches, those are just made from a cattle panel. I bought one cattle panel, sliced it in half, and made 2 arches. Honestly, it was the best $17 I've ever spent. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you have a beautiful day in your garden too. Bye.